Hey guys, men's dating coach HarryWilmington here, founder of IntrovertDatingSuccess.com. I do a lot of shows where I talk about the importance of being patient when you're trying to date women. And I still get messages from guys saying, well, that shouldn't be a thing. And if a girl really likes me, then she'd be fine with all the stuff that I'm doing. And so what I want to do tonight is something different. I'm going to read you a Reddit user's comment. And it is a posting from a woman talking about a guy that she's dating that's moving a little fast. But more importantly, aside from analyzing her particular message, I want to go through the responses from other women about her message that will give you guys some insights into how women really feel when you're trying to do things a bit faster than they're ready for. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified of when I post up new videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this because I'm just really excited about this particular message. It's one that I came across when I was doing my research today. And yeah, it's from a woman, and the title of her post is, "How Can I Slow Him Down?" And what have I told you guys time and time again, that no matter how much woman is showing like for you in the beginning, she still needs time away from you. And what can happen a lot of times is you get so excited about a woman that you'll want to call her every day, you want to ask her on a date every day, and you're thinking, as long as she's saying yes, and she's agreeing to see me, that must mean that she's liking me even more as we go out more. But what's really happening? Because a lot of women will feel silly turning you down because they do want to date you. They just might not want to date you every single day when you first start out. And so they say yes to things, and then as you ask them out more, they don't want to hurt your feelings, so they end up going ghost instead. But what's going on the other side of things? Why are these women suddenly going away from you? Do they want to go away from you? Are they struggling with wanting to see you but not wanting to see you so much, but not knowing how to do that without hurting your feelings? Let's go ahead and read this woman's message, and then we'll go into some of the responses that other women gave. So, as always, IntrovertDatingSuccess.com. Go there, check out my eBooks, audiobooks, video courses, freebies. I got one-on-one coaching there. And if you want to support the show, click on the tip jar tab to do just that. All right, let's go ahead and get to this. So her message goes, "I met this guy less than 2 months ago on Bumble. He has been super proactive from day one. He texts and calls me every day and wants to meet me almost every day. He'd always tell me how much he likes me and even said, 'I love you' twice in the first month we'd known each other." Now, I've done shows about this, about why it's important to wait for the woman to say, "I love you" first. And what do I tell you guys? If her feelings are not there yet, then you saying it can make things feel too intense. She might feel obligated to feel that way. And if she does not, it can cause her to not want to be around anymore. Okay. So she's pointing this out here that she's saying in a complaining way, within the first month, he's already saying, "I love you." She's not a fan. Continuing, she says, "First time was around our second date. I don't remember if it was before or after that. We were on the phone and he was telling me that I checked all his boxes and he added, 'I love you.' It was like when you say how much you like a coworker, so I didn't react much to that sentence. But I reminded him that we didn't know each other that well." Exactly. Women take a longer time to fall in love because they're taking their time doing their due diligence. They're analyzing you. They're seeing if they can trust you. And so that's why they can't understand why after 2 or 3 good dates, you're ready to say it. We do our analyzation very fast and then find out later that we were not right. But they are taking their time. So that's why I said again, you wait for them to say it, because if you already feel those feelings, then you can wait till 5, 6, 7 months, whatever, before she says it, knowing that you already have those feelings. If she's still showing up to dates and is still answering your phone calls, then that means that she has budding feelings and you are good. All right. But anyway, continuing on. "But I reminded him we didn't know each other that well. Second time was during sex. I know people say stupid stuff during sex, so I didn't respond. And then one time when we were watching TV, someone said something in Spanish on screen. He picked up the sentiment, turned to me and said, 'Mi amor,' my love, in Spanish. Again, I did not respond." Yeah, because she's wondering how this guy's feeling these things so soon and she's not ready to say it. It's barely been 2 months. It takes a woman on average 2 to 3 months to solidify her feelings for you to want to be in a relationship. It could still be another couple of months before she actually feels like saying, "I love you," but you have to give her time to do that. It's going to be the best way for you to be able to really get her feelings. If you're saying it before her, you're making her feel that she's doing things that she's not ready to do, which is going to make a woman not want to be with you. Continuing, it has only been less than 2 months. We haven't even had the exclusivity talk I think he's just infatuated. And by this, I mean, I tell you guys this too, that you wait for a woman to come to you to start asking those questions about relationship stuff, okay? You saying I love you too early makes her feel like you're trying to push this already being a relationship. But if she's not there, I'm gonna keep saying it until you get it. Until she's there, you don't need to do that. She says, so I try to slow things down by postponing our meetups. Whenever he proposes to meet, I would always try to push it by a day. And I have 2 solid reasons for doing this. 1, he has a demanding job, so he always gets off work late. And 2, he still hasn't gotten furniture for his apartment since he moved to this area in January, except for a mattress and a home office setup. Tell me if you've experienced this before. You're going out on dates with a woman you really like. You asked her out, say like 4 times in a week. And then that 5th time you try to ask her out, suddenly she's saying, oh, let's do something next week. Or she says, oh, something came up, I'm busy, hit me up again in a week or so. And you're scratching your head thinking, why is she doing that? Because I thought she liked me. Well, now you know. It's because when a woman is feeling pressured, but she also likes you, or she's seeing this could be a potential thing that goes somewhere if you aren't messing up, she will start to do things that are going to passively give her space to be able to have time to herself to think about you, to think about the relationship, okay? And this is space that a woman needs in order to grow her feelings for you. So when you're not allowing that space to happen, before she completely gets rid of you or says, or ghosts you altogether, she's going to be saying things in a passive way that if you're not careful, you're not going to catch on to it. But she's going to be saying stuff passively that's supposed to be indicating to you that she needs space from you. So things like, oh, you want to go out again for the 3rd time this week? Oh, I can't do it. I got something planned with my friends this weekend, but you know what? Hit me up next Thursday and we can do something then. I should be free by then. What she's saying is, I need to not see you until next Thursday. If she's saying, oh man, I'm so tired, this and that, what she's saying is, hey, I've gone out with you a lot, and as much as I like you, it's a bit overwhelming. I need time to sit with myself, feel the things, and then be able to use those feelings to grow my feelings for you. When you're doing things that make her feel like it's forced, her feelings are only going to be suppressed because she's not being allowed the time that she needs, and she feels like you're now impeding upon her time that she needs in the first place, which is making her actually more angry at you than wanting to get closer to you, okay? Continuing. She says, but it's not the best strategy because he now starts to want more from me. He thinks I'm not making enough effort to see him. But honestly, I am not ready to see him 3 to 4 times a week yet. I'm still getting to know him and getting used to his presence. How do I manage his expectations while not sounding like an ass? And this is the conundrum that a lot of women fall into. They like a guy, they don't want to see him mess up, but he's clearly messing up by calling them all the time, texting him all the time, asking them out all the time, and she wants to be able to say that to him, but experience has taught most women that when they're fully direct with a man about that kind of thing, they get upset. And right, we get upset because we're thinking this is stupid. She's saying she likes us and she wants to see us, but she doesn't want to see us and she needs time away from me. I don't understand that. Well, I'm here to help you understand that, guy. She needs time away from you so she has time with herself to think about you, to potentially miss you, to then want to be the one to go after you to be able to see if you're now available. Because if she's chasing you, she can't be replacing you. But when you don't allow her any space to chase you, you're taking away a part of the dating game that is vital to her to feel the feelings for you. So I've said quite a few of these things before, but I wanted to go into the woman's responses because there are quite a few women on here that have been through this similar experience that gave their own 2 cents about what their viewpoint is of what the guy is doing, what the guy is feeling, or why he's doing these things. And these are things that women may have felt about you if you were doing these things that you may not have considered, because we don't oftentimes think about the things that we're doing, what impression is this leaving on the women that we're dating. So now you're going to get a little insight into what that could be, okay? So this first lady says, it's rarely a good sign when someone puts you on a pedestal too early. In my experience, I noticed guys who did this ask me lots of questions about the future I want, often inappropriately early, asking about what kind of wedding I envision, for example, but don't ask hardly any questions about my life before meeting them. Not saying this is your experience, but something I've learned to look out for. I was drawn into an abusive relationship at one point, and there were many reasons that made me vulnerable to it, but one was that he never left me alone long enough for me to really process how I felt about what was happening between us. I always had his voice in my head, never my own. I've learned I need space and time to process my own feelings. So what is this woman saying? She's saying, hey, that, like I said, women need time and space, but also look at what she's saying. She's saying that because she wasn't given the space that she needed, she ended up being with a guy that was abusing her. And she was looking at the signs early on of these red flags that indicated that he was going to be that way, with something as simple as he never left her alone. So now here you come after the woman's had this experience and you do the same thing. Oh, you're different. You're the nice guy. You just want to see her all the time because you really, really like her. But what has her experience been with that? That most guys, when they're trying to do that, they're obsessive, they're needy, they're jealous, and it's not going to be a good look for you. So you have to understand that while you may have good intentions, most women, A, don't have the experience of that being a thing when it comes to guys that want to see them all the time. And also, like she said, when you don't give a woman space to be able to feel those things and process on their own, it makes them feel like they're being cajoled and forced into situations or feelings that they don't have or haven't gotten up to wanting yet, okay? So that's why you don't want to be the overly obsessive guy that's constantly trying to get on all these dates early on or texting back all the time. A few other great comments I saw. So this lady says, yeah, this just screams bad. Maybe just break it off. This guy seems a bit nuts. Women think that you are nuts, which scares them. She says, he should work on making his home his own and build his life, or is he just trying to weasel his way into your house and start living with you? So this woman's getting the impression that you're doing all this stuff because maybe you're trying to use it as a ploy to go from like seeing her all the time, like, hey, we see each other all the time anyway. I should just move into your place. And then next thing you know, you're taking over. Again, I don't think you'll do this, guy. But women are getting this impression because many of these women have been through this experience, okay? Another woman says, a lot of red flags. Way too soon to be dropping I love you and that you check boxes. You're a person on a grocery list. And wanting to be around you all the time, this means he's someone who cannot be alone. Big, giant, waving red flags. And he's new to town and doesn't have furniture. He's using you as an emotional support companion and trying to keep you around with the love talk. Not cool. Now, again, I don't think this guy is necessarily doing that at all, but it doesn't matter what he thinks he's doing. It matters the impression he's giving to women. If this is the impression they're giving, do you think they're going to want to be around this guy if they're getting these types of vibes from him? Another woman says, just know, I see more red flags in this little post than all of China. That's racist. You making excuses for his questionable behavior just sets you up for a future of tolerating progressively more crappy behavior until you find yourself trapped in an abusive relationship. I can't say this is for sure where you are heading, but your post reads pretty much like this dude has extreme emotional intensity and abandonment fears. You can Google that combo and come to your own opinion. Good luck to you. So what are you starting to see? You're seeing this pattern of, these is now like 3 or 4 women now that have said this points towards abusive behavior. Now, again, there are plenty of guys out there, you may be one of them, that doesn't have that intention. You just want to see their girl because you like her. But the intention being given and the feeling that women are getting is that this could lead to something harmful down the road. So when you can think about it, you're not giving a woman space now. Who's to say you're going to respect your boundaries later when you're in a relationship? At least that's what she's feeling. She's thinking, man, this guy, he won't leave me alone. And if I say I need space myself, he's crying and he's saying I hurt his feelings. That all sounds like abusive behavior, doesn't it? So then you have to look at what you're doing and say, am I unintentionally giving off the impression that I could potentially be a guy that's going to lead them into an abusive relationship? Because these patterns of behavior are patterns that women have seen before that led to this. So now you come along and do those same patterns with better intentions, but they don't know about your intentions early on. All they know is you're the guy that's showing the same abusive patterns that their last 2 or 3 exes had, and they don't want to get that again. And so they're backing off of you. You're thinking, what's going on? You're not aware. You need to be aware. Continuing, somebody says, huge red flag in my opinion. Perhaps maybe I'm a bit jaded from my last relationship, but a lot of narcissists start off real overbearing like that. So now you have women saying you may also be a narcissist, which we know is not a good thing. She says, my ex was like that too. It did not turn out well. It started really fast, and he would always tell me all the things he loved about me, etc. Once I got comfortable and was really happy and settled, things got really crappy. I'd say, tell him you like to take it much, much slower. If he responds negatively, then he is in it more for himself than for you. Okay, so what did she say? She said, when you come to him and tell him this, if he responds in a bad way, you'll know that he's all about himself and not about you. Now, Now that you know this, I don't think you listening to this or watching this at home are narcissists, but understand if your woman that you're dating comes to you and says, hey, so I think we need to slow things down, or I just need some time to myself or whatever, and you respond with, but I like it, blah, blah, blah. You're doing it because you're trying to now save her feelings because you think that her feelings are going away. But when you react that way, what she's going to read is, see, I knew it. He's a narcissist. He's not caring about my feelings in this moment. He only cares about what he wants. I need to get out of here. So this is why when women come to you with these things like this, you can't be hurt. You have to be able to listen to them, hear what they're saying, try your best to try to imagine or empathize with what their experience might have been in the past with guys that were doing what you're doing now, and then say, you know what? Maybe I do need to slow down a bit. Maybe we do need some time to give each other time to really breathe and to think about each other versus me being on top of you all the time. So I'll give you that your space. Just that reaction alone will make you stand out from all the other guys that she came to with this same request and they got their feelings hurt and she felt bad about it. And that'll make you stand out. And that'll oftentimes make her think, gee, maybe she'll go away. She'll be happy that she got her space. And then she'll be like, he gave me my space. This is so great. But now I kind of want to see him because I realize he respects me. And now it's my choice to go be in his space. Because see, now when you give a woman space, you give her the space to choose you. And more often than not, when you're showing respect for her boundaries like that, she's going to choose you. But when you don't, she won't. Let's see. Another woman says, I agree with others who are saying to be direct. He is not going to slow down. The sad part is that he might do this with every girl he dates. I had a friend who was like this with everyone. He eventually matured and came down to earth. But for years, he would be in love with every girl he dated for the month it would last. Let the guy know that you're feeling a little overwhelmed by his eagerness and that you'd like to take things slower. Also, let him know that you're pretty busy and aren't able to hang out as often as he's pushing. The red flags here are that he's putting you on a pedestal, he's way too eager, which shows that he might be pretty insecure with himself and that he doesn't seem to have a life of his own. Exactly. This is why you don't put women on a pedestal of any kind. I don't care if you're dating a low bottom 4 or you're dating the 10th of 10s that you've ever seen in your life. None of these women need to be put on a pedestal. And more importantly, and most women will not tell you this, most women don't want to be on a pedestal. Because if you put her on a pedestal, it means that you're seeing her as above you, which means that in effect, she's the one that you're looking to lead the relationship. And women don't want to lead the relationship. Women want to be helpmates. Women want to be by their man's side. Women want to help uplift their man, but rarely do they want to be the one that's in charge. Okay. And even with, the year that we're in now, where it's like you have the feminist movement, you have women in positions of power, most women in power remain single because they are still looking for a guy to out masculine energy them and they can't find it. But they want that still. Even the woman that has like the high-end corporate paying job or is the vice president of the company, they still want guys that are going to not put them on a high pedestal and see them as like a regular woman that has feminine needs that he can come along and handle. Okay. So yeah, women do not want to be pedalized and they are only seeing you as insecure when you are constantly trying to get their attention and constantly having to be around them, not allowing her time to choose you. These things do not make women want to stay with you long term. And then the last comment that I saw, it said, run! Men like this who go 0 to 100 tend to burn out quickly. Love bombing is definitely a red flag. It's important to let someone truly fall in love with you and not fall in love with the idea of you. Slow and steady wins the race in my book. Good luck. What do I tell you guys? You're going to get better results being patient with women. And this isn't to say you got to date a woman for like 5 or 6 months before you sleep with her or 10 or 12 months before you get into a relationship. But it does mean you have to understand how women's pacing works. You have to understand why it takes them 2 to 3 months to get to that place. You have to understand that it's nothing personal. It's just how they operate. And that if you're able to know how they operate, you can adjust your pacing accordingly. That's why I have a whole freebie at my website called the Girlfriend Roadmap Checklist. It is literally the 10 steps you need to do within the span of the 2 to 3 months to help grow her feelings in a natural way that's not going to rush her or make her feel forced into having to feel lovey-dovey feelings for you or rush into a relationship and experience burnout simply because she doesn't want to hurt your feelings, okay? So you can get that as a freebie at the website. But the point is, so now you see why it's so important to take a little more time, because this is not the first message like this that I've come across. I've come across many of these types of messages from women over the years. I've had women write me and say, hey, I like this guy, but I don't want to dump him, but he's moving too fast. What do I do? And guys, all this is pointing towards you lose the race when you're rushing it. So you can do things in a way when you're dating a woman that'll let her know that you like her. And at the same time, you have to start building up confidence that at the times that you're not seeing her, those are the times that she's actually growing more feelings for you. If you need help on how to be able to develop that kind of confidence, go to introvertdatingsuccess.com, click on the products tab, or schedule a one-on-one coaching session with yours truly, and we can help you get on the pathway towards being that guy that's not going to rush things so much because you're anxious about whether or not she's going to want to stick around. Thank you for watching this episode of the Introvert Dating Success Show. If you found the info in this episode to be helpful, please show your support by clicking on the tip jar tab, the link of which can be found at the website and in the description below. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment on this episode and catch new episodes right here on YouTube or wherever podcasts can be found. In the meantime, be sure to check out these other episodes so you too can learn to date as your introverted self while still getting your precious alone time. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.